She's literally playing against AI, guys. Like, this is what the future is.
Oh, no. Go, 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 go.
Come on, man. Come on. Seriously, come on. Come on. No, man, no. No.
Oh, don't mind me just walking down the street with my briefcase, but you might notice it's made by Honda, which means inside is actually an entire scooter. All you gotta do to use it is just do this, get that, this here, comes out, wheel release, this comes out, foot bar here, right here. And that's all there is to it. So this thing doesn't have the biggest motors in the world, so you actually have to push to start. The single motor is in the front, so it's front wheel drive. But once you get it up to speed, it has a 15-mile-an-hour top speed and 12 miles of range. To make sure you get the top speed, you gotta double press that power button to go to mode 2. Then you're good to go. You just give it like a...
来，转过来一点，来。
口令错误，请说“公主，请转头”。
公主，请转头。哎，咋还回去了呢？
那你要说“请公主注视着我”。
我要说什么？
对不起，对不起，快住手。
What's up, homie? I'm Tony. Don't waste your money. Check out these magnetic neon letters of ours. Doesn't it look very special and eye-catching? The design is very human. Just gently put it on the track like this, and the installation is complete. And you don't need to hire someone extra to install it. What kind of business do you have for an awesome sign like this? Comment to let me know. Link in bio to order now. Today definitely got the best deals.
This is a real specimen of an eyeball. If you cut it open, its inner structure will absolutely blow your mind. First, and then it becomes the object that we see.
Yeah. Bet you never been this close to a celebrity before, huh? You want to take a selfie or... Don't focus down there. Here, look back up here. Here, have a prime. Yeah, go ahead and drink that. Yeah, it's smooth, isn't it? Yes, oops, sorry. I thought you might have been dying or passing away there. No, that's okay. There we go. There it is. Huh. Not much in here. That's okay. I'll tell you what, though. That's a great shirt. Oh, yeah, it feels nice. Yeah, let me just get that off here real quick. Let me just get that off. There you go. Oh, man. Your body's disgusting. Oh, you gotta work on that. I mean, yeah, check this out. Check this out. Nah, it's okay. Go ahead. You can look. I know, it's pretty remarkable. I know I look good. Look at that. You want to touch it? And I better get those shoes from you, too. Here. You stop squirming. Stop squirming. Here. Mike! Mike, come help with this!
Yeah. Man, Logan's been working on so much crazy stuff this year. He's a total workhorse. Right, Logan?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Just here. Let's get those panties off. Here, get on your back!
Yeah. He's trustworthy, too. He's the best. He's the best. I love him.
I am trustworthy, aren't I, boy?
Yeah, Logan. You are. Can I get paid now, or can
I already paid you, remember? This stuff is for Daddy, okay? Now, I know you might be mad. Listen, I hear you. I am just as upset as you are. That's why I have a video to show you. Here, let me find it real quickly. It's like, here, this usually tends to calm people down a bit. Oops, not that one. That's for another thing. Let me see. Nah, not that one. No, not that one either. Well, you know, I'll find something for you to chew on soon enough, but, you know, I don't know. Just give it a week, give it a month, I don't know. You'll forget all about this, and we'll be even Stevens, all right, buddy? Thanks again. Mike, come on!
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us. Yeah. But now, it's not necessary for us to store up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
All right. How do you handle that? Because they put your name in the press with a lot of rumors and a lot of situations that they try to put on Cat Williams. Do you feel ever the need to, like, I got to go defend this and put out a story about who I am, or do you just let that kind of like roll off your back when
Well, as you can see, I've let it all go for quite some time, and a lot of that is just based upon the fact that I don't really know how to complain because all of the people that I ever looked up to had to go through it too. So I know how much they talked about Martin Luther King, and I know what they end up doing to him. I know this same story about Jesus and a few of my uncles. So now I know that if your mouth is really, really big and you try to tell the truth for a living and you like to air people out, hatred is coming your way. I didn't know it was going to be this type of hatred, but, you know, I'm concrete in all things because of He who strengthens me. So that doesn't mean I always make the right decisions, but I am going to stand by what I stand for. And I'm only continuing to do it because I was looking for somebody who was doing it instead of me. And I just must have missed them. You know what I mean? So at some point you have to figure out what example are you trying to be. If it's just going to be you going to make it and live happily ever after and go off into the sunset, then that's what that is. Otherwise, you're on the front line of this battle. And those of us who understand that this is a part of what comes with it.
You know that Biden just sent 3,000 of our boys over there. Why? I'll tell you why. Because just like everything else, Afghanistan, you name it, they're going to be in there entangled in that thing, and we're going to pay a terrible price for it. Yeah. I don't know what it's going to take. It's going to take the people. The people will have to run our country again. We have to put in honest, God-fearing men to run our country like we used to have. That's what made us such a great nation. I see, that's what we learned in school. These kids don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
I wish I could have seen those days. I hope my son sees him.
We gotta love our country again. Breaks my heart.
Me too, Don. Me too.
Sit down. Take it easy. Don't get so doggone excited.
Well, how about we end this with a message from you on what the American flag means to you?
You know, it's one thing for me to and we did something tonight that I don't normally do because I'm not asked to do it. It's not that I don't want to. It's that I just don't want any more trouble on my hands, and maybe it's not the proper place. You know, what do I think about the country? What do you think should happen about it? Don't talk about those things. All you do is start problems. You know, Republicans, Democrats. I spoke at our own.
They went that way.
Okay, male or female?
Neither. They, them.
What?
That's their pronoun?
Okay, so how many were there?
Oh my god, one, you idiot. They're non-binary.
So does non-binary have a hole or a pole? We just need to clarify.
They who? Who them? Where what? Who's who? Who's who? They, them, or who?
We're having pronoun trouble again. Were they white?
No.
Were they black?
No, colour doesn't matter, you bigot.
Were they fat?
That's body shaming. Sorry.
What do they look like?
A human. That's who you're getting from me, you pig.
Okay, witness says we're looking for an angry, BO-smelling, pink-haired dog with a nose ring over.
We're gonna learn about inflation. So let's say this rubber band encompasses the money supply. Now within that money supply, there's a middle. And there's people above the middle, people who have assets and wealth. They'll be represented by the blue lines. And people who don't, who are saving money, trying to buy a house, they'll be represented by the red. Now the second blue line is 24 millimeters away from the middle, and the red line is 33 millimeters away. But let's see what happens when we add new printed capital out of nowhere to our money supply. With all that new money, that line that was 24 millimeters away is now 40 millimeters away from the center. And that red dot that was 33 is now 54 millimeters away. See, what you want to do is in an inflationary environment, you want to own assets so you could go farther up that line rather than going down in the red.
Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words. Dear Lord Rothschild.
Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement. And in addition, it was after all in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist.
I could possibly ask you to read it for us.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours, Arthur Balfour.
And here it is, the Balfour Declaration. What do you feel when you see it here?
I genuinely feel it's one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of the Jewish people.
Meyer Amschel Bauer, born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1744, was a moneylender and a goldsmith on Jew Street, whose shop had a sign out front with a red hexagram on it. Eventually, he would change his name to Rothschild, which is German for red sign. Rothschild soon learned that loaning money to governments and kings was more profitable than loaning money to private individuals. Not only were the loans bigger, but they were secured by the nation's taxes. Meyer Rothschild had 5 sons whom he trained in the skills of money creation and sent out to the major capitals of Europe to open branches of the family banking business.
Where does that symbol come from?
It's never written explicitly in the Bible itself.
Is it in the Talmud? Perhaps. Is there a passage in the Bible about that or no?
No.
Okay. So you're not really sure exactly where that comes from?
No. You got me.
Is it nobody knows?
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't know. I'm not.
There must be somewhere. I do not remember exactly.
I believe that what they call the Star of David is actually the Star of Remphan. Because when you study the Bible, you'll see that when they worshipped other gods, the Bible talks about them carrying the banner of the star of their god Remphan.
You took up for yourself the star, that's the six-pointed star, of your god, called Remphan or Kiyun. All these were names for Moloch, the great Baal, the great fire god, who was the devil.
Beelzebub.
They sacrificed their own children, the Jews did, to the star god.
When they worshipped a false god, they had the Star of Remphan as an icon and as a symbol. We never see a Star of David in Scripture, but the star of the false god Remphan. And so we know today that they are not worshiping the true God, because the Bible says, he that denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father. But he that acknowledgeth the Son hath the Father also. If the Jews do not believe on the Son, the Bible says they don't have the Father. So who do they have? Somebody else.
You are looking at the next generation of hologram tech. This is the HoloLens. This device allows someone to touch real objects within their environment. The company soon hopes to have a glove that will allow a tactile function, so when you're touching virtual objects, it will feel like objects touched in real life. Ready Player One style games may be coming soon.
This is probably the craziest ornament I've ever seen in my life.
Every single house I bought has been in a land trust for several reasons. Number one, you have absolute privacy. Nowhere on the deed does it show who the beneficial interest of the trusts are. The beneficial interest own the trust that owns the house. The house is deeded to the trust, you own the trust. So therefore, if it's not shown on any public record, there's no one can find out who the owner is. Number two, I expect you're going to die someday, and most people do. So you got to ask yourself, do you want to die and let everybody else figure out what you got after you're gone, or do you want to make it easy for your survivors? If you own a land trust, if you're the beneficial interest, and if you die, nothing happened. There's no probate. There's nothing to file downtown. So you have estate planning benefit there. And thirdly, you have lien attachment avoidance. If a lien against you of some sort, could be a judgment, could be IRS tax lien against you, a lien against you can't attach to a property you do not own. You do not own the property. The trust owns the property. You probably own the trust. So a lien can't attach to a property you don't own. Geez, that's enough reason right there if you ask me.
Though there are no limitations, there's endless space, an endless universe. Now, in the 21st century, we're not allowed to do that. Anyone who looks up and sees the giant grids and the X's in the sky that weren't part of our existence until just a decade or two ago is somehow called a kook. And the people that are the best and biggest proponents for the revolution and for liberty, they don't want you to talk about it because you could discredit them.
It seems to be an industry that's being built up to milk the taxpayers by undergoing some kind of a giant global spraying program to make all kinds of money on the project. And they don't seem to care really what effect it has. They're not trying to experiment to see if humans can survive it or anything like that. They just want to get this stuff up. And then we discover, as we're going further down the line, that there are companies generating genetically modified organisms, seeds, modified seed crops they're being engineered to resist the aluminum in the soil. A lot of crops won't grow in that. And so now, after they've messed up the soil, all the farmers were going to have to go back and buy seeds that have been genetically engineered to resist the aluminum that have been put into the soil. And all of a sudden, mankind is completely dependent upon these companies like Monsanto and other giant agricultural firms. You can't even grow natural seeds anymore. And we're looking at that. It's a shocking thing. I hope we don't find that that's true. But all the arrows right now are pointing in that direction.
Crazy request. Let's do it. Let's chocolate coat fried chicken.
First, we'll send these fillets through the double chocolate curtains to get that perfect Belgian chocolate coating. Now we'll get this chocky chicken under the blower to remove the excess chocolate. Now it's time for them to head down the cooling tunnel for an exact 7 minutes, after which they'll be fully set. And here we have them, our chocky chicken tenders. This one looks more like a chocolate coated croissant. Let's check them out. Bruh. What should we
Take a picture this way. Dude, look at this thing. Are you kidding me? That thing is so ugly.
¿Alguien que sepa qué chingados animal es ese? Un pinche cola como los alacranes.
And look who it is. It's a security goon. Dildo grab. Here's my look. Yeah, go piss on it. Look at the butt plug. It's a security boy butt plug. That's as fast as you can go, huh? About 1/10 of a mile per hour. Imagine thinking this weirdo scares anybody. You don't scare anybody. You could barely make it up this fucking hill. And with those stupid ass sounds. Will you shut the fuck up with those sounds? Go ahead, you put in papers.
I heard you got in shape.